Hi everyone, this video is going to highlight some of the basics for Mathia. Mathia is the program that comes with the Carnegie Learning math textbook. So hopefully after this video you will sort of start to understand the program so that you are able to use it in your own classroom with your own students even if you don't teach math. So when your students log on, this is what's called the dashboard. It has a lot of information all at one time. So at the very top, it has the student's progress. It has session and total. So you can see how long a student actually spent during a certain session. You can see how many problems that they completed and how many workspaces that they completed. And also over to the side, it shows how many total workspaces they have done. Right now, this says 1 out of 97 workspaces complete. 97 is how many workspaces there are total for the entire year. So students really shouldn't pay too much attention to the very top of the screen right there where it's talking about 1 out of 97. We kind of want them looking more at the modules and how many workspaces they've completed in that. So down here, you see different blocks and only one of them is highlighted. These are called modules. They're basically just a main idea that's built up with different units and different workspaces. So right now, the only one that's open or unlocked is composing and decomposing. That's because that's the first module that we're starting with in our classroom. So with this module, there comes 26 workspaces. So after I complete the first unit, after I finish teaching the first unit, I may ask my students to have 7 workspaces complete because that may go with that unit that I just taught. So if you want to see how many workspaces a student has completed with what they're working on, you come here to the dashboard. I think that's the easiest place to look. And you look right here. So right now it says 0 out of 26 workspaces complete. So as they start working through them, that number will go up. So 7 may go with the first unit, 6 may go with the second. It kind of is just broken up that way. So they should just be working on their own pace trying to get those workspaces completed. Now, when they click Let's Go, it will bring them to a screen that looks like this. On this screen, there is a video that goes through why the topic matters and what it connects to. And it also goes through key terms like vocabulary terms. They can click on them and start looking through this content before they get started. I don't necessarily require my students to do this. A lot of them like to dive right into the problems. So over here, it highlights the different workspaces. Right here, there are only 4. So this would be the first 4 out of the 26 that it talks about right here. So after they click Let's Go again, it will take them to a screen that looks like this. When your students are working on Mathia in your classroom, they should be able to be self-sufficient. Mathia gives them so many tools that they have at their disposal to use to help them. This is the first one. If a problem pops up like this, the whole entire left side of the screen gives them an example worked through and talks about the property that it's wanting them to work through. And then on the right side, it gives them the actual problem to work out. So students should first off read the left side, and there is an option to turn on audio for that. And I can show you how to do that individually if you would like, so that the students can plug in headphones and listen to that and let it read to them. But then that side should help them do the right side ideally. If it doesn't, there are a couple more features that they can use. Another way that the screen may look, it might just go ahead and delve right into the problem. So right here on the left side, there is not anything to really help them necessarily. So there are 3 different things that the students can use to help them. The first thing is when they start a workspace, it will pop up a screen that looks like this. It says, it gives them an option of doing a step-by-step example. They can also have the option of skipping and going to the problem. The majority of the students will click skip and go to the problem, but I try to encourage all my students to do the step-by-step example. The step-by-step example goes through all the problems that they're going to see in this workspace, and it shows them how to do it. It does take a little time, but this really helps the students if they actually use that. So that's one option, the step-by-step. Now, after they if a student clicks skip and go to problem, last year I had trouble with them clicking step by step in the middle of the problem. The option went away. Hopefully that's fixed this year, but that's just another reason to encourage students to do the step-by-step example before they even start anything. Another thing that they can do is they can click sample problem up here at the top. So here are all their options for the tools they can use to help them. We just talked about step-by-step. That usually comes at the beginning of a workspace. You should be able to click on it right before, like in the middle of a problem, but last year we had some trouble with that, so they should do it at the beginning. So that's step-by-step. Sample problem, they can click on it, and it will give them a sample problem of basically the same problem that they're working on right now. That is a great thing for students to do, and I encourage my students to write it down on notebook paper so that when it goes away, they can use it to help them with the problem on the screen. So sample problem is another great one. And the last one is hints. Every problem will allow you to have 3 hints every time you click it. However, if students use hints too often, they will not get through the problems. So this is the next thing I would like to explain. At the top of your screen, or the student screen, they have these circles. These circles start empty, and as they get the questions correct, they start to fill up green. So after I did several problems, I got them all correct, it started to fill them up slowly but surely. So if a student comes to you and says that their circles are not filling up or they're going very slow, it's because either 1, they're using too many hints, or 2, they're making too many errors. So I want to show you what the hints will look like. They have the option. So this is the problem right here. If I didn't know where to start, I could click hint. It would give me the first hint, which is pretty general, and it kind of tries to give you just a general overview of what to do first. It's not too specific. If the student still doesn't know what to do, they can click next, and it will give them a second hint. The second hint is usually more specific, but doesn't actually give them the answer. If they still don't know what to do, they can click next. It'll give them a third hint. The third hint will tell them what the answer is. So most students like to use the hints a lot because it gives them the answer. But if they keep using the hints, the problems will continue to give them the same type of problem. So students should only use hint very sparingly when they actually need it, and they need to really pay attention to what the hint is telling them. So those are the tools that they can use to help themselves while they're working on Mathia in your classroom. Step by step is by far the best. They need to do it at the very beginning of a workspace. Sample problem is wonderful. They need to write it down so they can reference it while they're working. And then hints is a great tool, but if they use them incorrectly, these circles will not fill up. Once the circles all fill up green, they click I'm done, and they have finished a workspace. So hopefully this kind of gives you a good overview of what Mathia is and what your students are going to be working on in your classroom. They should be able to be self-sufficient while they're working. They have many tools at their disposal, including audio, so they should be able to be successful. Let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you.